Hi, this is Brenda with Angel Talk with Brenda Hardwick. This is the June 2025 edition, and our title for today is Mid-Year Checkup. Are you okay? This year has been so full of chaos, negative energy, positive energy, things that make you go, questions that require answers that a lot of people are not ready or willing to give yet. It has not been an easy year. Hasn't been an easy year for me. I started off going through chemo, and that lasted for 4 months. I'm past that. Just a week ago, it'll be um, well, it's almost 2 weeks now. I had my reconstruction surgery. So that's two surgeries within the last 7, 8 months. Um, and like most of us, I have been doing too much, too soon, too fast. And I had a healing session for myself yesterday, and my angels read me the riot act. They were nice about it. They didn't use these same words, but it was basically, Brenda, sit your butt down and rest, or we will make sure that you sit down and rest. I don't want to be sick. I don't want a cold. I don't want COVID, which, is still out there and doesn't take much to pick it up. I'm going to sit down. So this podcast is a few days late, supposed to be last Wednesday, which was last week, or fourth Wednesday, which was last week. And next month, I will have a guest speaker with me, and my guest speaker will be Colleen Taylor, and her uh, business is Perpetual Wisdom. She's a lovely healer that I have worked with much in the past, and I look forward to sharing with her and with you. The title for next month is Finding the Meaning of Your Being, which I think a lot of us are dealing with. But this month, it's mid-year checkup. Are you okay? This was a question I was forced to ask myself yesterday when I had that healing session. It was very interesting because the healer who worked on me kept saying, "What's going on with your heart? What's going on with your heart?" And I was like, I changed blood pressure medication because the one that I was on for chemo made me cough. I'm one of the few people that it makes do that. And now I'm not coughing anymore. Thank goodness. That was very challenging to deal with. But I'm like, what's it talking about my heart? I've had EKGs and what have you in order to have the surgeries. So I was really confused as to what it was talking about, or they were talking about. And then, she's talking to my angels and they're yelling in my ears between her words. And I finally said, well, maybe it has something to do with my sister. And she said, I think that's it. So what's going on with your sister? And so I explained my sister has MS and she's in the US, she's in the States, and I can't physically be there for her. And that is uncomfortable for me. I'm sending energy almost on a daily basis whenever I think about her. She's had a rough road here. She was diagnosed with, well, she had a mammogram that had something questionable on it and decided to have a double mastectomy. Well, having that surgery and the way anesthesia works in your body, everyone is different. And with her, I believe it triggered her MS to wake up, and it had been dormant for quite a while. And so she has now stopped working because she can't. They have moved into a ground level apartment because she could not handle the stairs in the townhome they owned. Um, she's having to change her whole life around. And I have another sister who is still there who also was diagnosed with breast cancer last year. So the three of us have just had a tough road to hoe, as some old folks would say, but we are getting through it. And she told me, the healer who worked on me said, okay, let me tell you what you're doing. She said, you are trying to hold space for everybody. Huh. Hmm. How about that? Y'all can see what I'm doing, huh? I have to tell you, I didn't even realize that that's what I was trying to do. Holding space for everyone, holding space for my clients when I see them, when I work on them, holding space for myself, trying to, but I'm part of that generation that was taught everybody else is first. If you remember a few months ago, my podcast was all about you first, then everybody else. This is a lesson that has been really difficult for me to learn. So, in asking the question, are you okay, to myself, no, I'm not, but I am going to be okay. So, I have slowed down. I've taken a genuine interest in putting my social calendar back into place. This surgery was really an easy surgery, all things considered. Um, they replaced the 35-year-old implant that should have been replaced 15 years ago. Yeah, that's a whole nother story. And they pulled the expander and placed the implant in the right side, which is where I had the surgery back in November. Okay. Um, So the right side, because of the kind of surgery that mastectomy was, I have no lymph nodes and they took all the tissue. So it's been a little slower to heal, but it's healing. And I've been able to move my arms better on my left side sooner than on my right. But on my right, it's just been since November that I had that big surgery. One of the things that I learned considering a mastectomy is that it's an amputation. And I never looked at it that way, but it is. It was twice. Okay. All that having been said, when I asked myself the question in preparation for this podcast today, are you okay? My answer had to be no. The last few days, yesterday notwithstanding, the last few days I'd done too much. I walked a lot. There was a 5K that went by our house. It's a women's race. And we've been here at the beginning of 2 summers now. We've just been in our flat for a year in March, but we've seen this race. This was the second time. And I videotaped just a small bit of it, and I was going to post it because I really want to do that 5K next year. I couldn't do it this year. There was no way, you know, chemo, um, surgery. No, I couldn't do it. But I really want to do it next year. And I did several 5Ks when I was in the States. There were a couple that I used to do every year. And as I was videotaping and trying to give some audio to it, I was in tears. I didn't realize how much I missed participating in something like that. Now, for me, and I only walked a 5K. I don't run because, you know, there are joints that can't handle that treatment anymore. I ran in track and yeah, the body has paid for that, but I can walk it. But I also know that I need to practice. So I have been doing more walking. I've also gained some weight and I want to come down a bit, but I was doing too much too fast. So stepping back a little bit, taking my time. Tomorrow is Monday. I have a full day tomorrow of places I'm supposed to be for things that I have signed up for things that I need to do. Well, some of it's not going to happen. It's been hot here. It's been between 80 and 90 degrees, which for here is really hot. And with the humidity, it's really hot. So yesterday, I stayed home. The day before, I was out most of the day. And once I got home, I didn't go anywhere else. But I got home in the evening. Today, I'm not going anywhere except for the grocery store trip that I already made because grandma's got dinner tonight. But I'm trying to pay attention. Um, the girls are at a birthday party today. Grandma didn't go. Could have gone. I decided to stay here and talk to you all and get this podcast recorded. It's really something I needed to do. It's something I wanted to do. It's something that I put off last week because I needed to. I couldn't sit in front of the computer, but I can do that now. Am I okay? No, but I'm working on it. And it's okay to not be okay. My angels have stopped yelling. In fact, they've had very soothing words and messages for me since they stopped yelling through my healer yesterday. And she was so funny. She kept saying, "They're bringing me back to your heart. They're bringing me back to your heart." What I have to focus on is holding space for me, for Brenda, holding space for me. And then with compassion, with my love for you, for my clients, for my sisters, for my sons, for my grandchildren, I have to send love and healing through my compassion instead of trying to reach out and hold space. My sister was by herself this weekend because her husband had to make a trip in her new apartment for just a week, and she's already had one fall. So, yeah, I'm worried about her, but I can't fix that. And she's got lots of friends and other family present who have shown up to help her. But like me, we're a bit hard-headed, and we both doing things that we should ask others to do for us. So I am paying much more attention to what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, and I'm holding space for me, for Brenda. I want to be well. This is the girls' last week of school, so I've got one more week without them home every day. Yeah, it's a good thing. I want to pay attention to me. I look forward to them being home from school because they need a break. But I also look forward to the couple of weeks this summer that we have arranged for them to be in summer camp because we're going to need the break. I love being here in Portugal. I do miss being close enough to my family that I could hop a plane and it's only a couple of hours instead of half a day to get to them. I would also like for them to come and visit me because I think they will benefit from the tranquility and the peace that is being here in Portugal. But I don't need to hold space for everybody, just for me. So I have to follow my own advice. Me first, and then everybody else. I am healing. It takes time to heal. But because I feel pretty good and what little pain there is, the discomfort is tolerable with a little Tylenol and some ibuprofen or another NSAID, I'm doing too much. But it's okay because I'm paying more attention now. So I ask you, how much do you need to shift your focus and pay attention to you, to what you're doing, to who you're talking to who you're giving time to who you're holding space for? Are you holding space for yourself? When I say holding space, I mean, are you caring for you first? And then from your heart space, from your compassion, sending your love to those that need it. That's what I wasn't doing. I was trying to make this bubble of protection and put everybody in it. And I need to shrink that bubble so it's just me. So that's what I have done. Does it mean I stop worrying? Well, yeah, I've told you that worry is prayer backwards and it really doesn't help. So I have to stop worrying. Does it mean I stop caring? Oh, no. Does it mean that I don't send positive energy, prayer to my friends, families, clients? No. Does it mean that I don't send the caring and the love to my granddaughters, to my son in love, to my son in the US, to my daughter in love, to my sister and my brother in love, to my sister and her children, my niece and nephew, and my other sister and her niece and nephew, my niece and nephew. Because nobody really is okay right now. We are doing the best we can. We are making a difference with how we speak, what we watch, who we look at on television, in person. Many of us are changing the relationships with the people in our lives when we have people that cause us to be stressed. And we all have at least one. And it might be somebody that's really close in your family. Doesn't mean that you have to put up with that. Protect you first, and then send love to everybody else. Because that works. Sending love works. But keeping your circle, your space for just you, it's important. It's a good thing. And it's not being selfish. It's a positive thing. When emergencies happen, if you're the someone that gets called, if you're not taking care of yourself, you might not be able to answer. Even from here, I get calls. And while I can't be there physically, I know energy doesn't care about distance or walls. So I can send heartfelt love, my compassion, the healing energy that flows through me from my angels, from my guides, from my connection to source. I can send it to others. And I get benefit by doing that when I have my bubble intact, because some of it hangs back for me. As I speak with you today, I have my chakra lights on because just being in the room with them helped me, and I can channel their energy to you. So in listening to my podcast, you get some healing energy just by listening. I'm not stingy with it. I share it with anyone who's open to receive. And even if you're not open to receive, but your higher self is, you get some. It's all about love, our strongest defense, our greatest weapon against anything and everything. I thank you for joining me today for my podcast, Angel Talk with Brenda Hardwick, and our mid-year checkup, making sure that you are okay. I hope you will join me next month. If everything goes according to plan, it will be posted on the fourth Wednesday of the month. And again, the topic is finding the meaning of your being. And my guest healer to speak to this is Colleen Taylor of Perpetual Wisdom. Thank you. Namaste.